The woman was simply lying on the beach, but her husband insisted on going into the sea to play. When Annie woke up from her nap, she discovered that her husband had mysteriously vanished. Strangely, his phone was missing too. Annie rushed to the shore to seek help, but after hours of searching, they still couldn't find her husband. With no other choice, Annie went to the police station to file a report, but after hearing her story, the officer burst out laughing. The water in this area was extremely shallow. Drowning was impossible, so the officer simply had Annie fill out a basic report and told her to go home and wait. They had come to the island to celebrate their wedding anniversary, but now Annie was left alone. She lay in bed, unable to sleep for hours. The next day, she returned to the spot where her husband had disappeared, hoping to find some clue, but there was no trace of him. With no progress in the case, Annie had no choice but to return to work. She was an art professor at a university. One day after class, a male student stopped her. His name was Jack. He had been one of the people who helped search for her husband. Annie was puzzled. How had Jack found her? Upon learning that her husband was still missing, Jack immediately confessed his feelings for her, but Annie was convinced her husband was still alive, so she turned and walked away without another word. One day, Annie received a call from the police. They said they had found her husband's body. Annie rushed to the hospital, but the corpse in front of her wasn't her husband's. She let out a sigh of relief. When she got home, Annie opened her husband's computer. Strangely, she found a photo of a woman in red, someone who seemed very close to her husband. But Annie had never seen this woman before. This convinced Annie that the woman must be connected to her husband's disappearance. Determined to uncover the truth, the next day, Annie sought out Jack, the one who had been pursuing her. She asked him to help her find the mysterious woman.